NANOWRIMO. Now, for those of you who do not know what NaNoWriMo is, that is National Novel Writing Month, and it's basically a challenge that absolutely ridiculously stupid, crazy people do in November, and it's where you write 50,000 words in 30 days. Obviously, that's a novel of unsellable length. It's also going to be really bad because you write it really quickly and you don't edit because you've got to write quickly. But it's a really good challenge, and apparently I'm an amazingly stupid, crazy person. So on top of writing a blog, doing YouTube, doing a degree, being a fundraising manager for Footlights, being in a show called Radical, I thought I'd just add something else to the mix. Now, especially my mum, hi mum, will say that I am stupid for taking on something else, but actually I have a few good reasons for doing this challenge. Number one is that doing NaNoWriMo makes you write. Whether it's that you hit the 50,000 words or not, it makes you sit down and write because you know you have a target, and you've got a target in a short amount of time that lots of other people have. Secondly, there's an amazing community of people doing the challenge, and that means that there's lots of posts on Twitter and groups that mean that they encourage you to keep writing. They encourage you to have more ideas. They give prompts, they give word sprints. They really make you enthusiastic to get your creative ideas on the page. And thirdly, I've always wanted to write a book. Whether that's what happens because of this challenge, I don't mind. But I think it's a really nice way of just sitting down and trying to write, because I don't think we let ourselves sometimes. There's so much else going on in the world that we can get caught up in, whether it's checking social media or living, but we never write, and it might be that that's the one thing we really want to do. So I think it's a good way of forcing myself to enjoy a passion that I've always had. So how am I doing? Obviously I'm not posting this on the first day of the month. It's not an attempt to get more of you involved, although if you do want to, you might be able to catch up. It depends on how quickly you can write and how enthusiastic you are. I know I'm very behind, so you can probably beat me. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 weeks in. Second week is apparently the hardest, and I can understand why. But for me, I found the first week really difficult. The first few days I wrote about 300 words, and the average you're meant to do a day is 1,667. So as you can imagine, I was freaking out. But actually, I'm now getting the words. Because I'm in it now, I can create those characters and create the world more, because I'm a bit more comfortable literally just typing. Nano word sprints on Twitter has been my saving grace with this challenge. Like 2 weeks in and only being on a couple of thousand max is a problem, especially if you really do want to succeed the full challenge. So the fact that these sprints are there and people are encouraging you and asking you how many words did you just write, and are you proud of them? It's actually really encouraging, because it makes you want to go, I wrote 4,000 words over the last 3 days, and I'm really proud of that. I think actually the best thing about writing in this challenge is I might not hit the word count, I might not hit the 50,000, but these are words I would not have ever written if I hadn't tried to do it. And that's amazing. Like, for me, I'm on 6,600, which is rubbish compared to some people. Like, I know someone who completed the challenge in the first week. How they had the time, I have no idea. But they did. And yeah, I have done 6,000. That's 6,000 more words than I had at the start. And as someone who studies English and has a creative writing module, maybe I end up with 20,000 at the end of this and think, oh, that sucks, I couldn't do it. But that's 20,000 words that I can take ideas from and develop and try new things with. And that's why I think you should do it. And to anyone that is doing nano, tell me how you're doing, because I know that I'm proud of just starting. And I'm sure there are people that feel similarly. I'm sure there's people that are flying along and have other opinions, and I think it's a really good thing to do. What am I writing about? Obviously you might not care, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. I am writing a story that basically compiles two books I always wanted to write. One which was a relationship told backwards. I decided that for NaNoWRIMO that took too much plotting, so I've sort of kept that idea somewhere and we'll come back to it, but have taken some of the lead characters from that story and put it into a different story about what happens when you enter into a coma, which is obviously very different and actually is really interesting because I keep feeling a lot like my main character, thrown into a new environment like they are and trying to tackle that, which is quite nice because I definitely understand how she feels. Definitely not the most inventive idea I've heard during the process. One of the best things is sort of sitting on Twitter looking at the NaNoWRIMO like hashtag and their page and seeing the amazingly creative things that people have come up with, and from actually some of the more traditional stories that are going to be written wonderfully to the really wacky, world-shifting thoughts. It's so cool just to see people thinking, and people have really great ideas. If anything, this challenge just makes me feel proud to be someone who wants to write and to be part of a community that is really supportive of everyone's ideas. So what now? Obviously the challenge is in its 9th, 10th, 11th day now. It is quite far in and it's maybe not the best time to encourage you to get involved, but I would follow it, see what you can learn about it, maybe do it next year, and I'll randomly update you when I have the time, and I'll probably actually get my friend Chloe to come on here and talk to you about what she's doing because her book sounds brilliant, and actually I really want to read hers almost more than I want to write mine. So yeah, basically I think November's going to be the month for creativity. Let's not let the depressing November vibe take over. Christmas is coming. Books come first. Yeah, let's let imagination take hold. Have a lovely day.